Bom dia a todos, muito bom dia. Bem-vindos ao podcast 30 of Portuguese with Carla, podcast 30.
That's right, Carla, yes.
I'm Carla.
And I'm Alan.
Yes. And today we have a scene. It's probably, I don't know how some of you are going to feel because we fancy a snack and the Portuguese tend to have an afternoon snack, usually about 4 o'clock, in between 4 and 5. As lunch is around 12 and 2 or in between 12 and 2, and dinner tends to be in between 7 and 9, I would say.
Yeah, 9 would be a late one, but yeah.
Yeah, although some people
possible,
can have it later than that. So yes, what do we fancy as an afternoon snack?
What about some snails?
Yes, so some of you will find that disgusting, some of you will love it. I think it's a fancy dish, isn't it, in France? Snails.
Yeah, although it's not so fancy in Portugal. It's just...
Summertime. Yeah,
It's a bit like...
you're going to get some.
I don't know, some peanuts. You gotta have some peanuts lit just occasionally. Well, you might have some snails in an afternoon.
Protein, I suppose.
Yeah, protein. Good. Anyway, so yeah, we're trying to decide what we're going to have for lunch, and that's the conversation. And then we try to figure out where we go for those snails.
Yeah.
Those
So what
slimy
happened,
creatures.
so you can sort of see a link there or understand the link, is that we were at Marlon's mum's, but now we're back in our home. And it's weekend, so that's why we're so relaxed, because... Susanna and João should be people that work, really.
Eventually, I think we should do a podcast where they are at work.
Yeah, we'll just have to find some jobs for them.
Yeah, maybe you should send an email at what job should John and Susanna have
João,
at
yeah, right.
She's with Carla.
All right.
Good, so
let's do the scene, shall we?
Yeah, I think you're starting, Carla, so go ahead.
Okay. Já está na hora do lanche. O que é que queres comer?
Olha, apetecia-me pratinho de caracóis.
Boa ideia. E com uma cerveja bem gelada, num dia de calor como este, calha mesmo bem.
Por acaso hoje de manhã reparei num senhor que estava a vendê-los à beira da estrada. Não queres ir lá comprar?
Tu tens lata. Queres os caracóis, mas eu é que tenho de ir comprá-los e cozinhá-los. Nem penses. Compramos já feitos.
Então onde é que queres ir? À tasca do Zé Manel?
Não. Vamos antes à casa dos caracóis.
Tudo bem, mas tens de me dizer o caminho, porque eu não sei bem onde fica.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Let's translate this. And actually, we didn't think of checking the translation into English before, so this is going to be pretty spontaneous.
By the way, I didn't actually mention also that it's, if we're going through this dialogue, you might not know what the dialogue is in writing, so if you want to see it in front of you, which we would recommend, is ptwithcarl.com/podcast30. Although in most podcast apps, I do make sure that you get that. So if you just tap on the episode, it should come up. All right, Carla.
That is.
Sorry?
The transcript, that is.
Yeah, the dialogue.
Okay, sure. All right, so let's translate this. So I would say, the first line was, it's already time for a snack, particularly an afternoon snack. What would you want to eat? Or what do you want to eat?
Well, I fancy a plate of snails, or a little plate of snails.
Pratinho, yeah. Prato is plate. Boa ideia, good idea. And with a nice cold beer, in a hot day like this, it works a treat.
Actually, this morning I noticed a man selling them by the side of the road. Don't you want to go and get them and buy them?
Tu tens lata. You want the snails, but I'm the one who has to go buy them and cook them. Not a chance. We'll buy them cooked or already prepared.
So, where do you want to go? To Zemanel's tavern?
No, let's go to Casa dos Caracóis instead.
Very well, but you've got to tell me the way, because I'm not sure exactly where it is.
Okay, great.
All right, good. So the translation didn't go all that bad.
No.
Because we normally do prepare this stuff beforehand, but today...
Not very well, but we do go through it once, don't we? Or twice, just so we know how we can translate it. As some lines are not literally translated.
So at this point, we help you with the pronunciation, and we might just drop some ideas of grammar here and there, but mostly it's pronunciation. So if you repeat after Carla, because she's starting this dialogue.
Okay, so já está na hora do lanche. It is already in the time of lunch. Literal translation there. Okay, so it's lunchtime, not lunch. It's so similar to lunch, isn't it? I want to say lunch, but it's actually
there is a connection there, I think.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, because it's like I can't remember. I was reading a book about why you shouldn't have breakfast. I know it's completely out of context,
but there's a connection.
But yeah, the way that like they say, let's have tea. What they mean by that is let's have a dinner. They're really
but that's not all the British. I mean, I think in the north of England you have that. I don't know about Scotland or Ireland,
maybe,
but I know that in the south of England, like London, at least some of the students said they don't say tea and they do not have it at 5 or 5:30. Yeah. It's actually about half past 6,
they do,
and it's dinner. Mm?
At least here in these parts they do. But meal times have shifted over time, just like a word meaning shifts over time.
Yeah, that's true. Right, okay, let's carry on with this. So, já está na hora do lanche. Já está, it's already. Já está na hora do lanche. Na hora do lanche. O que é que? What? O que é que queres comer? What do you want to eat? O que é que queres comer? O que é que queres comer? Some might pronounce it slightly different. O que é que queres comer? O que é que queres comer? A lot of k. O que é que queres comer? Okay?
All right. So I say, olha, look. I fancy a little plate of snails. Okay? So snails, plural, caracóis. Caracóis. Pratinho. There's the nasally sound. Pratinho. Pratinho de caracóis. Pratinho de caracóis. Okay. Apetecia is, pretty much I fancy.
Yeah, I feel like.
I feel like having. And the me is referring to myself. So, fancy I, basically put it the other way.
I fancy myself.
Fancy myself a plate of snails. So let's do that word. Apetecia-me. Apetecia-me. A bit faster now. Apetecia-me. And then connecting that with the rest. Apetecia-me pratinho de caracóis. Olha. And now if you do it along with me, in 3, 2, 1. Olha, apetecia-me pratinho de caracóis. All right.
Okay. So good idea. Boa ideia. Ideia. Boa ideia. And again, boa ideia. And with a beer very cold or chilled. Is it chilled?
Chilled, I would say. Gelado comes from the word gelo, which is ice.
Icy. So, with a very icy beer. In a hot day like this, it works a treat.
It goes down very well.
Calha muito bem. Yeah, it goes down very well. But you can use this expression for anything. If anything works a treat, anything is like, oh yeah, that's
doesn't
great.
Have to be food or drink.
Perfect timing. So, boa ideia. We've done that one. E com uma cerveja. E com uma. Not com uma. That M from com is not m. It's just a nasal sound. Com. E com uma cerveja bem gelada. Num dia de calor, in a hot day, num dia de calor, como este, as this one, como este, calha mesmo bem. Okay, let's go through it again. E com uma cerveja bem gelada, num dia de calor como este, that was a long one, let's do it again. Num dia de calor como este, calha mesmo bem. Ok, Marlon.
Ok. Por acaso, by chance, but you could also translate it easily as actually.
Yeah.
It's more actually than by chance.
Actually. Yeah. Oh, I so happened.
Yeah. So por acaso, by chance, so actually, hoje de manhã, so today, by morning, we don't say in the morning, we always have to say hoje de manhã. Actually, no, you could say de manhã. No, if you want to situate something in time and you're relating something that happened to you, you wouldn't say just de manhã. If without context, you have to put hoje de manhã. Are you with me, Carla?
So,
you seem a bit distracted.
I was drifting a little bit.
Anyway, yes. Reparei num senhor. I noticed a gentleman que estava a vendê-los, that was selling them by the side of the road. À beira means...
It's like beira-mar is seashore, isn't it? I don't know. Can you say shore? What is shore? Is it just...
Seashore? Yeah, well, that's what it is. À beira.
Beira,
It's by the...
It's when you're very close to, yeah. At the edge, isn't it? At the edge of the road.
That's right. Não queres ir lá comprar? Don't you want to go there and buy them? Actually, there's no them in that one. Não queres ir lá comprar. So let's do that slowly, starting from the bottom. So you do backwards, build up drill.
Can I just mention, that's why when you just translate it that way, não queres ir lá comprar, don't you want to go buy? In English, you'd say, don't you want to go buy it? Don't you want to go buy them? But the Portuguese and I think other languages, because you often hear foreign people, foreign to England, I suppose, or to English-speaking countries, speaking English in that way. I like, rather than I like it. And that's why they're just doing a literal translation from...
they're doing a calc.
Their mother tongue. Okay. So.
Não queres ir lá comprar? Comprar. Lá comprar. Lá meaning there. Lá comprar.
But like you say, it's an easing word, isn't it? Lá. Don't you,
I think in this case it
you
is.
Just want to get it? No? You don't think it is?
No, in this sentence, it seems to be just...
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. You're right.
Just there.
Because you like comprar.
That's why it's so tricky, right? We have to think about it. So, queres ir, want to go. Ir meaning is the verb to go in its infinitive form. Queres ir. If I said it quickly, I probably said queres ir. So it becomes a Z because S between two vowels becomes, or is pronounced with a Z sound. Não queres ir. Não queres ir lá comprar? Let's do that one again. Não queres ir lá comprar? Okay. Estrada. Remember, ES, beginning of words, often is just pronounced with a SH sound. Estrada.
In English, yeah. SH English sound.
Yeah, SH sound in English phoneme world. By the way, we do have the flashcards, so you can go on ptwithcar.com/podcast30 or any of the others. Most of them have them, and practice these. We record them ourselves, so you can practice them over and over again. That's the words that we feel are new and interesting to learn. À beira À beira. À beira da estrada. Vendê-los. Vendê-los. Estava. There's another word. Estava. Estava a vendê-los. Estava a vendê-los à beira da estrada. In the beginning, the bit. Senhor. Reparei num senhor. The senhor there, you do pronounce the R, but it's very, very faint, very soft. Senhor. Just a roll of the tongue and the right near the your teeth. Very, very soft. You say it, Carla, so they have another.
Some people say my R's at the end sound like sometimes a D or an S even. Senhor.
What is it? It's just a touch, senhor.
Senhor. Senhor.
So, reparei num senhor. And let's do that bit from reparei till estrada. In 3, 2, 1. Reparei num senhor que estava a vendê-los à beira da estrada. Probably estava a would become just estava a vendê-los, ok? Hoje de manhã. Hoje de manhã. Today by morning.
This morning, yeah.
In English it is this morning.
Yeah, because sometimes those who are learning Portuguese, they translate from English this morning. So they say esta manhã, which is perfect, isn't it? It's a good translation. We do use it, esta manhã. But we often, probably more often
more
use
so, yes.
hoje de manhã.
Yeah.
But they equally as good.
Por acaso. Actually, por acaso. Okay, so if you're looking at the text, let's do the whole thing from beginning to end. It's quite long, so. Por acaso, hoje de manhã reparei num senhor que estava a vendê-los à beira da estrada. Não queres ir lá comprar? All right, Carla, that's me done on that one.
Okay. Tu tens lata.
Okay, so that's one of our not in a textbook moments, so let's do it. Ter lata. Literal meaning
To have tin or to have can.
the colloquial meaning
When some action or comment that is made is just cheeky or cheeky and unpleasant.
what about an equivalent expression in English?
You have some nerve.
Let's put it in context then.
When you realize your friend or relative wants something done but can't be bothered to do it himself, so he asks you to do it, you can reply, Tu tens lata.
Very good.
Okay, tu tens lata. So there you are. No shame or, how did we say?
Cheeky.
You have some nerve. Yeah.
This is not, we were just chatting, because some of the expressions we've taught you are quite formal. You wouldn't use it with strange people. But this one,
I'm sorry.
it is
Informal.
Yeah, I should have said informal. This is still informal, but is very, very, very common.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes people they don't even say tens lata. You have the nerve or some nerve. You just say grande lata.
Or even ganda lata.
Yeah. Drop the R from grand and replace the E at the end with an A. Ganda lata.
That's like between friends, I guess, or talking about someone between friends.
So I suppose that could be translated as you've got a lot of nerve rather than you've got some nerve. Yeah? Tu tens lata. Ok. Queres os caracóis? You want the snails, mas eu é que tenho de ir comprá-los, but I'm the one who has to go buy them, e cozinhá-los, and cook them. Nem penses. Don't even think about it, or not a chance. Compramos já feitos. We'll buy it already done, or made, or cooked. Okay. So let's break this down. Queres os caracóis? So when I say queres, the S is SH, But with the us, the S is now in between the E and the O, so it's going to sound like a Z. Queres os caracóis? Again. Queres os caracóis? Mas eu, again, mas, but together with eu, mas eu, rather than mas eu. Mas eu é que tenho, but I'm the one who has to. Mas eu é que tenho, has to, tenho de. Mas eu é que tenho de. And sometimes you will hear a que rather than a de. If I'm not mistaken, de is the grammatically correct option. Que is colloquial, it's used. So, queres os caracóis, mas eu é que tenho de ir. Tenho de ir, or tenho de ir, drop the E from the de, tenho de ir, comprá-los, buy them, e cozinhá-los, cook them, comprá-los e cozinhá-los. Nem penses, and I think this is one expression that we've used before, nem penses. Don't even think about it. Not a chance. Nem penses. Compramos já feitos. We buy them already done or made. Compramos já feitos. Again, compramos já feitos. Okay, let's just go over this again. Tu tens lata. Queres os caracóis? Mas eu é que tenho de ir. Comprá-los e cozinhá-los. Nem penses. Compramos já feitos. Okay?
Okay, so then we need to figure out where we're going to get them. Mm-hmm. So I say to Carla, so where do you want to... where do you want to go? To Zemanel's tavern. Okay, so I said Manel, even ignoring that U completely. You could say it either way, Manuel, but more often than not, people will just drop the U. Because it's when you think about it, it's a difficult vowel to put there in between Manel, the N rather, and the E. Because when you do the N in your mouth, it's quite close to the E in your mouth. The tongue is in a close position to each other, to the N into the E. But when you put the U, you have to shift your tongue altogether to a different spot. So oftentimes, people just drop the U. Manel instead of Manuel. Okay.
Do you also think that's a social class thing as well? Maybe...
If you're speaking a bit posher...
Or properly, you would say
you would use the U.
Manuel.
Manuel. So if you're reading in an official capacity, or if you're in court or, something more formal, you would read Manuel.
Yeah, but
or
casually,
if somebody asks you for your name to write in a form, you'd say, my name is, o meu nome é José Manuel. There is no Zé either, is there?
But the feminine form, no, that's right, yeah.
Zé in itself is a shortened version of José.
That's true. But I was thinking the female version of Manuela. I don't think we would say Manella, but we might actually shorten it to Nella. No?
Yes.
Nella. Manuela. Nella. Yeah, there you are. Anyway, okay, let's carry on. This is really irrelevant. Okay.
No, it isn't. It's quite important. Really.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, so Zé Manel. Again, Zé from José. Zé Manel. That's two, by the way, Manel is not a surname. That's two Christian names given there. Zé Manuel. So, a tasca to the, or at the tasca do Zé Manel.
To the.
Tavern, that's what tasca is. And you'll see this in roadsides, tasca of something and tasca of something else. It's not a tavern. I think people, when they think of tavern, they think of a place where chaps go and have a drink with their mates, like a pub almost.
Spend there all day, get a bit drunk maybe.
Yeah, but tavern, there are of course those type of taskas, but you often see that title given to restaurants because it's just a way of saying, hey, okay, this is quite traditional, very raw, and often the great restaurants
Raw
are
as
not
in
tacky.
real Portuguese food,
Yeah,
not actually raw food.
Raw is in,
Yeah. The real deal, yeah.
So, yeah, the tasca does not necessarily mean that, that really poor and dim-lighted place where you have drinks all night long.
Very Portuguese. I think if that's what you want, if you want to learn about the culture, if you want to explore the Portuguese culture, you should definitely go into a few of those from time to time.
Carla doesn't want to, but anyway, that's...
Susanna doesn't want to, no,
that's
no.
right.
That's true.
So
she wants to try a new place.
She does. Let's just finish this bit. A tasca do Zé Manel. A tasca do Zé Manel. And the question before, queres ir aonde? Aonde?
Aonde?
What?
Aonde?
Aonde é que? Aonde é que? No, you have to say the D. Aonde é que?
I think you're just overstressing it, really, overemphasizing it. I don't think we speak that way. Aonde?
I'll say it. Okay. Onde é que queres ir? That's how I would say.
Yeah.
How I would say. Onde é que queres ir? Aonde é que queres ir? Onde é que queres ir? So the A is almost dropped there from aonde. Então. And let's do the two questions there. Então, aonde é que queres ir? À tasca do Zé Manel? Okay, Carla.
Então, aonde é que queres ir? I didn't actually check this, but I know there is a difference. I can't remember what the difference is
There
between
is.
aonde and onde. Aonde is to where, and you have the two words together. To where you want to go. Aonde. But there's a rule, I can't remember what it is. But then again, if all you want to do is communicate and speak Portuguese, these little rules shouldn't. It's just one more thing for you to worry about.
Most people don't know them. They wouldn't write according to it.
No,
it's like the whom and the who that is slowly dropping away, and most people wouldn't even know that one is a subject pronoun, the other one is a.
I quite like whom. Okay, so my line: no, I don't want to go there. No, let's let's instead go to the house of Snails. That's the name of the place. Casa dos Caracóis. Não. Vamos antes. Antes de is usually, it means before something. Antes de. And antes is one of those words that needs the preposition de in front when you use it. But in this case, vamos antes, let's instead, vamos antes, ou vamos antes, à Casa dos Caracóis. Vamos antes à Casa dos Caracóis. Okay? Last line, Marlon.
Okay, so I say very well, tudo bem, mas tens de me dizer o caminho, but you have to tell me the way. I do not know where it is, or where it...
I'm not sure where it is exactly.
Não sei bem. I'm not sure. Não sei bem. I don't know well where it is. Fica. Fica is from the verb ficar, which is to stay.
It has different meanings.
But it has different meanings. In this case, it's simply saying where it is that this thing sits, where this thing is located in space.
So if it's fixed location, you can use ficar, the verb ficar,
yes,
instead of verb to be, ser, that is, not estar.
Yeah, okay. Portuguese language.
Yeah.
Okay, so onde fica? By the way, it's one very useful two words to use as you start a question. Onde fica o hospital? Onde fica
o supermercado?
So where is blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Onde fica? Não sei bem. Don't know well, I'm not sure. Não sei bem. Porque eu não sei bem. Extend that. Porque eu não sei bem onde fica. Caminho. Dizer o caminho. Mas tens de me dizer o caminho. Tudo bem. Now let's do the whole thing, but if you do it along with me now. Tudo bem, mas tens de me dizer o caminho, porque eu não sei bem onde fica. All right, well that's it. That's our dialogue for today.
Yeah, this is it. Podcast 30.
30. If you want to practice this, which we recommend you do, if you want to retain all that information, then head over to ptwithcarl.com/podcast30. You will have at the top of the dialogue a little audio strip where you can play the audio just for the dialogue over and over again on a loop and repeat along with, or say it along with us, or read it along with us. And yes, by all means, go and practice with the flashcard exercises. If you have the Quizlet app, then you can access all of the flashcard sets, I guess that's how they call them, for every single podcast that we have released thus far. So I think that's it. That's the podcast for today. Carla, next week we'll carry on. I think, what are we doing next week? Because we already have something prepared, don't we?
We do, yeah. Well, we just go get the snails, and so there'll be some directions. What words do we use when we want to direct you to a place, when you need directions, really? But it's we do it fairly slowly, don't we? And we're obviously going to break it down. But when you have somebody Portuguese telling you or giving you directions, it can be challenging. I suppose it's always challenging, in, if it's another language that is not your mother language or mother tongue.
To be honest, the joke is that whenever you ask somebody, a Portuguese chap, by the side of the road, à beira da estrada, directions to some place, even Portuguese, often are none the wiser by the time they finish the conversation.
But whoever's giving you the directions is just like, it's easy, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
Because they just assume you know Anyway.
Right.
Good. So that's the podcast. Do you want to say anything else? Oh, of course. Thank you very much for your comments on YouTube and our website and wherever else.
Thanks for listening. It's like we said before. That motivates us to keep us going and try and do this as regular as you can. Also, thank you for those who listen to us because they actually want to improve their English. So that's a great compliment. There's a couple of people that do that subscribe to our podcast because they want to, because we do first speak in a fair amount of
learning English. But
but it's nice. It's just a nice compliment, isn't it? And a couple of people have complimented on your English, actually, Marlon. Some people actually thought you were an English bloke.
They're obviously not English, I'm guessing.
He is. Well, he was born here and grew up here, and that's this particular person.
I'll take that as a compliment, I guess.
Yeah. So that's good.
If you want to get all of our stuff automatically delivered to your device, then we would recommend you subscribe to our podcast on any podcast app, podcatcher, as they are called. And if you want, just subscribe also on YouTube, the link is youtube.com/Portuguese with Carla. Also, the Facebook page, which Carla handles, I have no idea what that is.
What's that?
Facebook, Carla.
Portuguese with Carla.
Oh, okay. So you just search. I don't use Facebook, so you just search for...
Just go on Facebook if you have a Facebook account and just search for Portuguese with Carla.
Yeah, you'll get all the new podcasts. They are sort of posted there. And also on Twitter, if you prefer that, which is, we've never really used Twitter a great deal, but we are starting to use it a little bit more. And so that's PT with Carla. That's the handle, at PT with Carla. Okay, Carla. Well, let me put the end jingle then.
Okay.
You can say goodbye.
Love you and leave you.
See you later.
Ciao.
Ciao.